Hello everyone. So the expected prelims topics 2020, I had some gap of taking the topics of expected prelims topics 2020 because of ill health, but now I'm all right. I'm coming up with daily expected prelims topics 2020. So 5 topics we will be discussing today. So most expected questions for prelims 2020 from the last 1 year current affairs, which I believe that there will be question from this particular topic. So the first topic is Human Genome Project. Under Human Genome Project, we have Genome India Project. Under Human Genome Project, we have Genome India Project. Yes, this Genome India Project is older one, but because of the COVID, because of the coronavirus, it again resurfaced. It was in the news. So we need to know what is this Genome India Project. So under this Genome India Project, the objective of this project is mainly knowing the gene structure of the population of India, communities of India. By knowing the gene structure of the population, we can understand the genes which are very strong for any disease. For example, if there is a community X, in that community X we found a gene which is having inbuilt immune system against corona or against Kala-Azar or against malaria. So we will come to a conclusion that yes, these people are having this particular gene which is working as an immune part or immune system for those diseases. So we can remove such gene and we can place in other populations, so that the same application will be happening in other population. That is the benefit of Human Genome Projects under Genome India Project, under Human Genome Project. So India's project is called as Genome India Project. So an organism's complete set of DNA, the combination of DNA is called as gene, the functional unit of the chromosome is called as gene, and the structural unit of the chromosome is called as DNA. So complete set of DNA including all of its genes, means functional parts of the DNA, is called as genes. That gene structure we will be coming to know. DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, contains all information needed to build and maintain that organism. So all the information we will be drawing. Why? Because we know the gene structure. As we know the gene structure, we know what is the code of that particular population. If any beneficial genes are there, that beneficial gene we will take and we will try to put it in the other populations, like immune system. We can put it in other population, so that the other people who doesn't have the immune, now they will be getting the immune system powerful. So in that way, this Genome India Project is helpful. Who cleared the project? Department of Biotechnology under the Ministry of Science and Technology is taking care of this project called as Genome India Project. To build a grid of Indian reference genome. So genome means gene structure of the population is called as genome. So we will make one reference genome. According to that reference genome, we will be finding the mistakes in other populations. To completely understand the type and nature of diseases and traits that comprise the diverse Indian population. So we can understand what type of traits they have, what type of behavior they have. According to that benefit or according to that disadvantage, we can apply on to that other populations. That means what? This Genome India Project is giving us reference genome. Who involves? 20 institutions including IITs are involved in this Genome India Project of India. What is the nodal organization? Indian Institute of Sciences, Bangalore is a nodal institution for Genome India Project. Prelims point of view, what is the nodal agency or the nodal institutions working under Genome India Project is Indian Institute of Sciences, Bangalore. First stage of the project, we look at samples of 10,000 persons from all over the country to form a grid. 10,000 people. What is common gene structure? 10,000 people. What is common structure? Mainly this 10,000 people should be one caste or one community or one ethnic group. So these people are having this genome, this gene structure. So this genome, they will take it as a genome reference and they compare with other genomes. So when there is little difference, then they will understand what is advantage, disadvantage of this genome reference, what is advantage, disadvantage of that genome reference. So we got inspiration from whom? Human Genome Project. Earlier it was under Human Genome Project, now we had an independent Genome India Project. So we got inspiration from Human Genome Project. It was an international research effort to determine the sequence of human genome and identify the genes that it contains. So this was been happened HGP, popularly called as Human Genome Project, from 1990 to 2003. Now we are coming up with Genome India Project on the similar lines of Human Genome Project. Why is Genome India Project is important? Over 95% genomes mapped under Human Genome Project have been sourced from urban middle class white people. So Genome India Project is important. So in Human Genome Project also we found the genes of the population of India. But what is the disadvantage? We collected, so Human Genome Project collected only from the rich people, from the socially high people, economically high people and urban people. Then what about the communities like tribal communities? What about the rural communities? We should know the genome of these people also, no? So because of the disadvantage or because of not covering the rural tribal people, under this Genome India Project we are focusing on this socially weaker, economically weaker sections to find their genomes. So what will be the benefit? Disease anticipation. This population is going to get the disease. Why? Because they have this particular gene. So genetical diseases, occurrence of genetical disease, or about their immune system, their power with respect to immune system, whether it is weak or strong. More genetic understanding, agriculturally also we can understand. Challenges, social, scientific racism. Human Genome Project took or made the genomes of only urban people, socially high people and economically high people. But no economically weaker section, no socially weaker sections. So it's a scientific racism. Now we are going to address this scientific racism. That properly we have to address. That is one of the problem. Why? Because already Human Genome Project proved that there is scientific racism. Now Genome India Project should take it as a challenge and it should cover all the underprivileged sections. Underprivileged sections also, genome also we need to make. Safe storage of data without misuse. Those data which we are getting in the form of genomes, we need to save it. Medical ethics, risk of gene modification. There is a chance of gene modification. There is a chance of eugenics. There is a concept called as eugenics, whereby desired genes we will be making. But only rich people can make it. Why? Because we need to pay to the scientists or we need to pay to the medical researchers. Only the higher people will be getting this gene modified. Then what about the lower people? Hence there is a problem of eugenics. Scientific modifications with respect to the demand of the desirable genes. That is one of the negative of this challenge of this Genome India Project. So in this COVID times again it got resurfaced. So read about this Human Genome Project. This content is enough. So what is the nodal institution? The nodal institution is Indian Institute of Sciences. Human Genome Project, Genome India Project. The next. UN's Emission Gap Report. Reports are very important for your prelims. United Nations Environment Program, UNEP. Fourth largest emitter of greenhouses is India. The fourth largest emitter of greenhouse or the emissions, greenhouse gases is India. Then what is first, what is second, what is third, sir, you can ask me. The answer is, first is USA, second is China, third is European Union and the fourth is India. China is second, India is fourth. So this report is provided by whom? UNEP. This report is provided by whom? United Nations Environment Program. Emissions Gap Report 2019, which was been recently released. Gap between what we need to do and what we are actually doing to tackle the climate change. That is, emission gap means what we want to do and what we are really doing. That gap is called as emission gap, and that report is given by UN's Emission Gap Report. 3K, there are three key trends are there with respect to the report. Number one, greenhouse gases emission every year up to 2030. So we are going to make a report till 2030 how much greenhouse gases are going to be liberated. The commitment countries are making to reduce their emissions and the impact these commitments are likely to have an overall emission reduction. So those countries who committed themselves, they are performing well. But the countries like China, but the countries like USA who did not committed, they are not performing well. Why? Because they are not committed. Hence, we need to have these richer countries to commit for controlling the emissions. The pace at which emissions must be reduced to reach an emission low, that would limit temperature increase to 1.5 degrees centigrade affordably. So there is a increase in mean temperature by 1.5 degrees centigrade. Average mean temperature is going to increase, so we need to limit it to 1.5 degrees centigrade. If it goes on increase, what happens? Island nations, submergence of island nations happens. Those countries who are living near the coast, those states who are living near the coast, those places who are living near the coast, like Melanesia, Polynesia regions, our own Andaman Islanders, they can go under the water. Why? Because with increasing normal temperature, with increasing mean temperature, the ice at the Arctic and Antarctic will be melting and the sea surface water will be increasing. So the islands will be merging under the water. So there will be threat for the human survivals in these coastal regions. Hence there is an immediate requirement of controlling the emissions. By increasing in emissions, the greenhouse gas emissions, there is average increase in temperature. World will fail to meet the 1.5 degrees centigrade temperature goal of Paris Agreement. Which agreement it is? Paris Agreement, 1.5 degrees centigrade. So in Paris Agreement, we came to conclusion that we are going to control the mean temperature not to increase 1.5 degrees centigrade, but we are crossing it. Means we are failed with respect to Paris Agreement. This report told, UN emission report, which is released by United Nations Environment Program. Unless global greenhouse gas emissions fall by 7.6% every year. If not, world may face 3.2 degrees rise in temperature. See, 1.5, if we are not going to control, it is going to increase by 3.2 degrees centigrade. Statements are important. Which of the following statement is correct with respect to UN Emission Gap Report? Yes. Under Paris Agreement, we had a deal of 1.5 degrees centigrade. We should not cross 1.5 degrees centigrade. But the emission is not controlled. If the same uncontrolled emissions is happening, we might cross 3.2 degrees centigrade. Means double the target. We should be within 1.5, but we are going up to 3.2. So, the melting of the icebergs will happen. The submergence of the islands will happen. Report features way to bridge the gap, and so it looked at potential of the energy transition, particularly in the power, transport and building sectors, and efficiency in use of materials such as iron, steel and cement. So we need to control. We need to control. By controlling, the emissions will reduce. So 3 points we got: 1.5 degrees centigrade, 3.2 degrees centigrade, United Nations Environment Program, as well as the 4 countries, USA, China, European Union, and the 4th country is India. So UN Emission Report 2019 is released by UNEP, United Nations Environment Program. So there is a German watch, gave the risk, the countries which are at risk. If you see more than 100% risk. If you see here, if you zoom it and if you see, it is more than 100 risk. See, small islands, if you see here, the Melanesia, Polynesia, Fiji, Vanuatu, Kiribati, small islands are at a higher risk. The small nations are at a higher risk. Through this diagram, we can understand that how the small island nations are suffering because of what? Because of no mistake, because of these rich countries, the developed countries, the developing countries, because of their emissions, these little small countries are suffering. There is a chance, there is a threat to their survival. Yes. The PDF will be provided in the Telegram channel. In the description, the Telegram channel will be there. So this diagram you can get there. Global Climate Risk Index, another. Indexes reports are very important. The International Environmental Think Tank German Watch, this is a think tank, German Watch, which releases the report, and they gave the index called as Global Climate Risk Index. So who releases means it's a German think tank called as German Watch. Analyzes extent to which countries have been affected by the impacts of weather related loss events like storms, floods, heat waves. So because of these weather related events, who are suffering a lot? How they are suffering, that is studied under this Global Climate Risk Index. Who releases it? German Watch. Where it is located? Bonn and Berlin, Germany. An independent development and environmental organization working for sustainable global development. Who? German Watch. This German Watch is releasing this Global Climate Risk Index. Prelims point of view, very important. Global Climate Risk Index is released by whom? UNEP will be there, German watch will be there. Everyone will think it is UNEP. Why? Because environment word is there. No, it is German watch. A independent think tank working to understand the risks of climate related. India, fifth most vulnerable country to climate change. We are very vulnerable for the climate change. Highest number of fatalities due to climate change is happening in India. New diseases. Second highest monetary losses from its impact in 2018. Yes. 2014, 14th rank India, whereas worsened in 2018 as 5th rank. After that, we did not got any recent report. This is the report, recent report. Worst affected in 2018 is Japan. Worst affected from 1999 to 2018 was long-term index. It's a long-term index of 20 years. Puerto Rico, Myanmar and Haiti. Germany and Canada were both also in the bottom 10, the most affected because of the changes in the climatic trends, how they are getting affected. Impact of climate change, frequency and extreme heat. Major cause of damage in 2018 is heat waves. Out of 10 most affected countries in 2018, Germany, Japan and India were suffering from extended periods of heat. So 2018 was a vulnerable year for the India because of climate related issues. So we got our position as 5th position. Across Europe, extreme heat spells are now up to 100 times more likely than a century ago. Heat waves are increasing because of the change in climate. Surface sea temperature impact increases in storms, wind speeds and precipitation. So everything is getting transformed. So exam point of view, the most important is, so this report is given by German watch. Desertification, degradation of the land. The fertile lands are becoming degraded. They are becoming desertification, means becoming deserts. So we need to protect our soils, we need to protect our lands. So when we read such reports, we will understand. When we empower the governments with respect to these reports, we can make some transformations, we can make some reforms. Global Climate Risk Index by German watch. Reva, Ultra Mega Solar Project. Ultra Mega Solar Project. This is the Reva, very large, very big solar mega project. For the first time in India, the solar power produced in one state is giving power to other states. This Reva, Madhya Pradesh. Reva Ultra Mega Solar Project. Asia's largest 750 megawatt solar project. Asia's largest 750 mega. Any project which is producing electricity more than 400 megawatts, it is called as Ultra Mega Power Project. And this, a renewable source, a solar power is going to produce 750 megawatts. That's why it is called as what? Ultra Mega, more than 400 megawatts. Solar power developed by Reva Ultra Mega Solar Limited, a joint venture company of Madhya Pradesh, Urja Vikas means Power Vikas Nigam Limited, and Solar Energy Corporation of India, a central public sector undertaking. So it's a government undertaking, solar power project. First renewable energy project to supply to an institutional customer outside the state. For the first time, we are providing to the outsiders. From this Reva Ultra Mega Solar project, 24% of the electricity is provided to Delhi, outside the state. So this is the first project. We can expect, yes. Which solar power project is the first solar power project which is providing electricity outside its own state? Is Reva. 750 megawatts. Project shows up India's commitment to attain the target. We know that under National Solar Mission, we had a target of 175 gigawatts of installed renewable energy capacity by the year 2022, including 100 gigawatts of. So we had a target of producing 100 gigawatts under National Solar Mission, under National Action Plan of Climate Change, NAPCC, which is designed by UPA government, which is now we are coming by 2022, whether we are going to reach that target of 175 gigawatts of power by 2022. In the renewable source, in that 175 gigawatts, 100 is from solar. So for this target, this is contributing. Reva is contributing. It consists of 3 solar power generating units that are located on a 500 hectare plot of land inside a 1500 hectare solar park. International, very important. Who is going to fund it? A World Bank group. There is a World Bank group. In that World Bank group, there is an institution called as International Finance Corporation. has invested close to $440 billion or rupees 2800 crores in this particular project. So it's funded by the World Bank group called as International Finance Corporation. Reva, expected question. Remember this solar project. See how beautiful those are. Herd immunity. We will be listening lot. Herd immunity. In simple language I will tell you. Try to understand. Herd immunity is nothing. Such pandemic comes. If such pandemic comes in the future also, now how we got, earlier we got Spanish flu. So at that particular pandemics, we will be having a concept called as herd immunity. What is this herd immunity? Means when the larger chunk of people in a country get a viral disease, get a contagious disease, then what happens, because most of the people are suffering, we will not connect it with the other person. Why? Because already other person is having the disease. So because already it's spread among the people, the immunity will be generated among the people. Why? Because all the people are having it. So that immunity which is produced within our body among all the sections of the people is called as herd immunity, which is followed by Sweden, but it failed. It was a bad experience for the Sweden. They also followed herd immunity. They thought that let everyone spread it. We will not bother about the coronavirus. Then spread happened. Then immune slowly it evolved. But problem what happened? The older people suffered and they also died because of it. So I will explain you theoretically. When a large proportion of population is affected by a disease, they develop antibodies. Antigens will be there and antibodies will be there. These antibodies will be killing the antigens. So with antigen is a foreign particle, my antibody will kill this foreign antigen, hence this antigen will die. Foreign antigen will die. Hence I will be free. That is the immune system. Killing a foreign antigen. Whose duty is my immune system, my antibody. My immune system means antibody. Against the foreign antigen, if my antibody is acting, it is called as immune system. They develop antibodies immune to the particular disease, vaccines preventing disease spread to rest of the population when most of the people are getting affected. Why? Because they cannot spread, hence they themselves will generate the immune system. Once herd immunity is reached, the spread becomes slow and finally stops. Why? Because everyone got now. So the spread decreases. Hence the spread decreases, it will be within the population, hence the people start generating immune system. But by the time, there might be some disaster. But however, finally the immune system will work according to the concept of herd immunity. How to control this? Vaccination. If we had a vaccination, we can control it. Or else, when large section of people are getting affected, it will not spread, hence it will be limited among the population. Hence the people themselves naturally generate the antibodies. Statement of World Health Organization. Herd immunity will not curb the coronavirus until a vaccine is developed. But World Health Organization told that don't go with herd immunity. The only solution is vaccination. We have to try for the vaccination. However, it can be a way to protect those people in the community who are more vulnerable to the virus or have low functioning immune system. But where the people are more vulnerable, we have to make them to get attacked. Hence the immune system will be generated. Why? Because it is not going to spread. Hence the immune system will be generated among the people. Case with COVID-19. What is the case? We doesn't have vaccine. If herd immunity is reached during an ongoing pandemic, high number of infected people will continue to spread the virus, and finally many more people than the herd immunity threshold will become infected. Likely over 90% of the people will die. 90% of the people will be affected and more number of mortality we will be experiencing. So there is disadvantage with herd immunity as well. Dangerous approach. Without vaccine and clear idea about disease pathology, looking for achieving herd immunity through infection is a dangerous approach. So when I get infected, I believe that my immune system will grow. Why? Because now I will not be in a position to spread. Why? Because all the people also got affected. Hence my immune system will work. That is called as herd immunity. Simple language. Case of Sweden, a beautiful case study this is. You can write in your mains. With a pure herd immunity strategy in Sweden, they followed it, Sweden people, but they failed. There is no significant economic cost. but the infection spreads more rapidly with a concomitant increase in mortality. So they left the people, no lockdown, nothing. Let spread happen, people only will generate the immune system. But concomitantly, parallelly, the deaths are also increasing. Sweden's public health professionals were confident about the ability of their public health system to handle the anticipated tide of infections. They believed that let it spread. If any serious problem is happening, we will help them. We will protect them. By the time the people will be generating the immunity, the Sweden people believed. But who will become vulnerable? Octogenarian. Octogenarian means 60 years, 70 years, mainly 80 years and above. They suffered a lot and they died also. However, the virus has caused considerable havoc in terms of mortality in the elderly care homes. Mainly the elderly people, senior citizens were been most affected because of this concept of herd immunity, which is borrowed by or which is applied on to the Sweden. This is herd immunity. Application question you can get in your prelims examination as well as mains exam. I will explain you by this figure. Just concentrate on this figure. See, these two individuals affected by coronavirus. Herd immunity means, if you see here, there is a blue color people are there. This blue color people are majority people who got coronavirus and who generated immune system, and they are now safe. Why? Because it came and it went. Now the new people, green people, if you see here, the green people are new people who did not got coronavirus at all. So this blue people who are there here, this blue people will work like a herd, a gate. They work like a gate. So when this coronavirus new people who got, they cannot go to the green people. Why? Because in between there are people. In between there is population who already got the disease and who generated immune system. So as they already generated immune system, this coronavirus will not spread it to these people who already got coronavirus and the coronavirus left them. So new people will be saved. The new people will be saved. So this coronavirus people, the people who got the coronavirus, their disease will not go to the people who is not at all attacked by the coronavirus, because of the people who got coronavirus in between. They act like herd immunity. So already they generated the immune system. So from this person, he is having coronavirus. I got coronavirus and the coronavirus went off. The third person is a new person who did not attacked by any coronavirus. So this coronavirus person who got affected, he came near me, he contacted me. But when he contacted me, there is no impact on me. Why? Because already I got coronavirus and I had generated immunity. So when I contact the third person, I will not spread coronavirus to him. Why? Because already immune system is there in me. Why? Because I killed the coronavirus earlier. If new coronavirus also come, I will kill it. So hence I will not be a person who is transmitting. So like that, the people when they get and when they get coronavirus and when they get treatment from the coronavirus, when their coronavirus is died, if a coronavirus is not active, if the coronavirus is inactive, then if new coronavirus comes also, I will not respond anything. Why? Because already my immune system is active. Hence this coronavirus will not affect me. So when I will not come to third person also, this third person will be saved and the coronavirus will be limited to this person and we will isolate this person. In this way, this people who got coronavirus and coronavirus left is going to become a herd immunity. People are going to become the immune from not allowing them to move into the areas where there is no coronavirus at all. So that is herd immunity. Okay? Thank you.